Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is an update for the Project 100 Uses Project Pan. This is a project I started based on Too Much Tosh's 100 Club. I will link her in the description box. Basically, I just picked powder makeup products, things I know that I'll never finish, maybe even never hit pan on, that I want to use 100 times so that I feel like I get a good use out of my makeup collection, and also I'm still rotating through things since I don't try to hit pan on eyeshadows anymore, but there are also cheek products, face palettes, things like that in this project. Obviously, I use the items past 100 times, but I don't keep track after that. So I have two things that I did get to 100 uses today. I am doing several project pans where I'm trying to use things up completely and hit pan as well. So check out my project pan playlist. I will link that. Also, I did film this makeup look, part of my Reviving Old Palettes series, so you can check that out. I'll link that in the cards and in the description box too if you want to see this makeup look, and let's get started. First up is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Blush, and I've used this 55 times. And it kind of doesn't look like it. This is a really hardly pressed formula. It is not powdery at all. But yeah, I've used this blush 55 times. So imagine how long it would take to hit pan on this. Probably quite a while. I love this. It's one of my favorite blushes in my whole collection. Very expensive, but personally, I really like this formula. So for me, I think it was worth it. Another product from Charlotte Tilbury that I'm counting usage on is this highlighter palette. This is the Bar of Gold highlighter palette, and I've used this 41 times. Really love this one. It's beautiful. I particularly love these two shades over here. Very nice formula. And FYI, I always mention this for face palettes and eyeshadow palettes. If I were to just use one highlighter on one day, or whether I layered all three of these together, or whether a palette I used 5 eyeshadows or 1 eyeshadow, that all just counts as one use. So FYI there, but I really love this. Like I said, these are my favorite 2 shades in this palette, but I think this is beautiful. And at first I didn't really like this when I got it, but now I am more into subtle highlighters than I was at that time. So that's a big reason I like this more than I used to. Another face palette I'm tracking usage on is the Ofra Island Time palette, and I've used this one 31 times. I really love this one, particularly the blushes in here are so beautiful. Definitely a big fan of this. So yeah, I've used this 31 times. Let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes, and the Tarte Toasted palette. I've used this 47 times. This is one I really want to start working on again soon. Also, whoops, it's perfect for fall, so I need to put this in my Shop My Stash soon so I can get more use out of it. I love these colors, so beautiful, nice for fall. I mean, year round, I love warm tones, so I really enjoy this palette. This is one that I have also traveled with quite a bit. So yeah, 47 uses for this, but this is definitely one that I want to use more coming up soon, and yeah, hopefully increase my usage. Then we have the palette that I'm wearing today, the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Like I said, I filmed this look, so you can check that out. And this one I have used how many times? Okay, 25 times for this one. And I have a lot of my Natasha Denona palettes in this project because they're some of my favorite and some of the most expensive in my collection. So a lot of the things in this project are absolute favorites, more high-end stuff. Like I said, things I know I'll never finish or probably ever hit pan on, but I really want to get that use out of them, get my money's worth. So yeah, 25 times on the Glam palette. Absolutely love this one. It is so beautiful. I love all of the Natasha Denona palettes, particularly the mid-size palettes. I still want to get the retro. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, this one is amazing. This next one makes me a little bit sad because I wish I had used this more, and that is the McGrath Mothership 5. Now, I did have the Mothership 2 in this project last year, and I have used that palette well over 100 times now. So that is great news there. And I need to keep going on this because I've only used this palette 16 times. I haven't had it that long. I bought this, I think sometime either April or May of this year when she had a really big sale. So yeah, I want to use this more. It's really beautiful. I love this color story. I love the quality, and I love how unique these shades are. This is one I want to film a look for my Reviving Old Palettes videos for sure. I did film a look with the Mothership too, so you can check that out in that playlist if you didn't see that. But I love the Pat McGrath formula. I really do. I mean, Pat McGrath, Natasha, Denona are some of my favorites, but I do also really love BH Cosmetics and Juvia's Place, and yeah, some of my Urban Decay palettes are big favorites too, but there's something really unique about this. So yeah, expensive and definitely want to use it more. There are more items that I'm tracking in this project, but I don't update on everything at every update. But I do also have a video where I talk about how I track my usage and I show you guys my spreadsheet. So I'll link that video in the description box if you do want to see that. I filmed that earlier this year. I've been doing a lot of tracking usage projects for about the last year and a half, and it's something, actually no, more than that, I think like 2 years now. And it's just something I've really enjoyed. There's less pressure than trying to hit pan and finish things up, but it makes me feel like I'm getting use out of my collection, knowing exactly how many times I've used something, and it's just kind of interesting. So yeah, 2 things I got to 100 uses on. Let's talk about those. Lou Manizer. So kind of funny because I've used this highlighter over 100 times now. Now you can see the rings are definitely showing there, but I haven't hit pan. So that tells you how long it takes to hit pan on this highlighter. Yeah, you can definitely see there's a dip, obviously, using this over 100 times, but have not hit pan. I would like to hit pan on this at some point. I love this highlighter, by the way. I still think it's amazing. Beautiful champagne color. Big fan of this. I actually, a bit of nostalgia, because in my first ever project pan that I did quite a few years, like 6 years ago when I started project panning, before I had a YouTube or Instagram, I started project pan on my own, and I had a mini of Lou Manizer that I'd gotten in Birchbox, and I panned that whole thing, and I loved that mini so much, and I missed it when it was gone. So a few years ago, actually last year, I repurchased full size. Still love Lou Manizer, but yeah, have not hit pan after over 100 uses. Alrighty, and the other item I've used over 100 times now is my Morphe bronzer. This is in the shade Icon. I don't know that they even make this anymore. I've had this for a while. And again, use this over 100 times now, and I have not hit pan. You can see there's definitely a dip happening here. Definitely a dip. But I'm pretty light-handed with bronzer nowadays. I only put on just a little bit to give my face a little bit of shape, but I don't put on a lot. So it takes me a while, and I am working on my ColourPop bronzer in a different project pan where I'm trying to use the whole thing up. And it took me over 4 months to hit pan on it. So definitely over 100 uses for me to hit pan on a bronzer, and this pan is larger than the ColourPop one. This is a really, really big size. These are the size of those Marc Jacobs bronzers. Yeah, there is 0.7 ounces in here, and most bronzers in my collection have around 0.3 ounces. So this is more than double of most of my bronzers. So no surprise that I didn't hit pan after 100 uses, but I still really enjoy this bronzer, and I think it's really nice. That is it for this update. I'm pretty excited that I got to 100 uses on the bronzer and the highlighter, and yeah, have not hit pan on them. Obviously, I'm still using them. I really enjoy both of those products. I'm not tracking usage anymore, but I'll be curious to see how long before I ever hit pan, if I ever hit pan in those. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, that is it. I really do enjoy this project, and I want to work on my palettes a little bit more. I've been shopping my stash for eyeshadow palettes a lot lately, and I've been using a lot of palettes that I'm not keeping track of in my 100 uses. Out of all of my palettes, I'm trying to think how many. At this point, I'm keeping track of about 12 eyeshadow palettes. There's quite a few that I have already used over 100 times that I'm still using. Like I said, the Mothership 2. Maybe I should do a video on all the palettes that I've gotten to 100 uses on in this project, because it's a pretty long list. I have it on my spreadsheet, and there's quite a bit of palettes that I've gotten to 100 uses on, and some of them I got to 100 uses on like 2 years ago when I started this project. So by now I've used them way more than that. So yeah, I just enjoy this project. I feel like I'm getting good use out of my makeup collection. And if you want to see this makeup look, I will link that. And if you want to see my other project pans, check out the project pan playlist. There's a wide variety of project pans there. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.